Namaste and a warm welcome to all the viewers of Namaste SAP. Haha. I am thrilled to have you join us today on our YouTube channel dedicated to all things related to SAP. I am your host and I'm here to guide you through the exciting world of SAP programming. In today's episode, we are going to dive into the topic of reading data in internal tables using the power of Abap 7.4. Internal tables play a crucial role in managing and manipulating data within SAP systems, and understanding how to efficiently read data from them in a vital skills for any Abap developer. So let's begin. I have created couple of scenarios and samples so it is easier to understand. So using the inline declaration, we do not have to declare the work area before the read statement. This will reduce the additional data declaration. But the new feature, you would never use the read statement anymore. Yes. So before 7.4, how we used to read the data? We used to select the data from the database table and put it into the internal table. Here it is ITVBAK. And we used to write the following: read table ITVBAK into data, using a index, right? Reading a row. We are basically reading a row from internal table using an index. This is before 7.4. But with after 7.4, how we are reading the data? We are simply putting internal table name, that is ITPBAK for this case, and just provide the index if you wanted to read the data with respect to an index from an internal table. And that's it. And here you will get the relevant data with respect to that index that you have passed on. Simply. This is one of the part, like how can you get the data from an internal table using an index using 7.4 and after syntaxes. Okay. Coming to the next slide. Yep. When there's a requirement for reading a row from internal table using a key. Earlier example, I have showed you using an index. But what about using a key? So as you all remember, like in earlier cases, we used to do something like this. With key, we used to supply the column name and the value, column 2 and the value. And whatever the result is, we put it into the size of RC, right? This is the earlier before 7.4. But with the advancement of 7.4, how can we read the data from an internal table using key? We do something like this. Like this is the internal table name, ITVBAP. In the third bracket, we used to provide the columns name and the relevant value. Suppose here column name is VBLN and its value is 1. Column 2 name is Posner and its value is 001. Okay. And whatever be the result of it, we are putting it on WA underscore VBAP 1. This is a variable. Okay. And it would hold the data after this operation has been completed. Okay. After the condition is satisfied, and the ITVBAP, if it holds the data, if the suitable key is found, then WA underscore VBAP1 will hold the relevant data. This is an example. Next slide. Okay. This is another example where how can we use, like if there is a requirement to check if line exists or not. Okay. In before 7.4, we used to use transporting no fields with the read table statement in order to check whether the following key exists in the internal table on. Okay, so for that read table, ITVBAP with key VBLN equal to this, Posner equal to this, transporting no fields. Okay, so we are not interested in the fields. Okay, with the value basically, we just wanted to know if in the internal table, here ITVBAP with the key Veblen and Posner, if there is any line item exist or not, we are concerned onto this only. So after 7.4 syntax, how can we write this statement? We can simply write line exists keyword. Okay, and here put the internal table name and the respective keys. That's it. You don't have to use this read table ITVBAP with key so and so. Okay, simply use the line exist keyword over there, line underscore exist, and it will provide, if it is true, then you would get the result into if and end if. Okay, I'll show you each and every example in practical First, before moving on to the practical, I just wanted to give you a bit concept so that you will feel an easiness when you are doing the practicals. Okay, coming to the next slide. Yeah. Uh, get the table index. So there are cases when we wanted to get the index in which that particular key is present. So here read table IT VBAP with key Veblen equal to this and Fosnel equal to this. We used to write like transporting no fields, and within SysAbRC we used to get the SciTabX, like in which row the particular key is been matched. Okay, and thereafter we used to get the table index. Okay, so you have to write these three lines of code additionally, right? But with 7.4, what you can do, you can use line underscore index keyword, and inside it you can pass IT underscore VBAP and the relevant columns names like VBLN equal to this, Postnode equal to this, and you will get the line index into this data IDEX. And the best part is you don't have to declare IDEX like earlier in 7.4, as you had seen, like we are declaring this data first and thereafter we are using it. But with 7.4, we are inlining the data declaration over here, get the line index and putting the result over here at the same time. Okay, this is the best part of it. So moving on to the practicals. So in order to explain reading data from an internal table, let us take an example. Okay, so I have made a select query from VBAP table. Okay, let me pass a where condition where VBELN equals to this. So we are getting two data over here. Okay, now step by step moving on. So covering the first case. Okay, so what is our first case? So in the first case, we will be reading a row from internal table using a index. Okay, so all our data are present in this internal table IT underscore VBAP. Okay, so let us try to read the internal table data. So first I'm declaring a data variable w underscore data, suppose. Okay, this is the inline declaration. Now what we'll have to do, we'll have to write the internal table name and thereafter put a square bracket and pass on the index. So as you have already seen that this internal table contains two records, so there are two indexes. So suppose I wanted to read the index 2, so I can directly pass here 2 and can display the result over here. Let's activate and execute. See, the second index data is being shown over here. Earlier, how we used to perform this? Earlier, we used to write something this read table, internal table into data. See, such long things we have to write. PBAP index to, thereafter again we have to like suppose I'm making an inline data declaration w underscore dt is equals to VBAP. If psi sub c is equal, if the data is received, that is the main part of psi sub c. If it is true, then only it will get into psi sub c will be 0 and the data will be shown over here. This is the process earlier. Let me show you that both the results are true. Let me come in this and activate this. I might have got some error. What is it? Okay, sorry. Let's activate it. Let's execute it. See, it is giving me the same data. Okay, but earlier we have to write couple of lines, right? So this is a simple way in a one-liner statement. This is a one-liner statement basically, and here you have to write couple of statements in order to achieve the same functionality. So obviously this is better, right? Okay, let me comment this first. So moving on to the next case, that is our second case. Our second case was like reading a row from the internal table using keys. Okay, so let us do that as well. Well, however, before 7.4, how we used to do? We used to do, let me copy the same line again. We used to write read table into table into data this, and thereafter we used to write something called with key, and thereafter we used to pass the name Veblen, right? The key values we used to pass on thereafter. Veblen equal to 003 and Posner, sorry, and Posner equal to this. This is what we used to do. If the data is received, then we used to get the data, right? Let me execute it. See, if the data is found, this is how it will get printed. We are fetching Veblen equal to this and Poisson equal to this, and the specific row is getting fetched. But what if you are using the 7.4 syntax? You don't have to write all these lines. Okay, what we can do simply we can write this: declare a data variable w underscore rdc internal table. Okay, the internal table name, uh, parenthesis, and within the square bracket you can do this. Wait, let me make it much more clearer. Yes, and within this thing we can provide this key values. Okay, simple. In a one liner statement you are achieving the same results. Okay, so again let me print this thing. See, you are getting the results. Let me change it. Let me change it to 5. Let me see what happens. Gives me a dump. I knew it would give me a dump. So how to handle this? How to handle this? See, if there is no matching, okay, if the key is not matched, then it would directly giving me a dump. But in earlier cases, it doesn't used to give me a dump. It used to give us isoverse equal to 4, right? Isoverse equal to 4 it is to return. So in order to handle this, we can do value hash at the very beginning, and within there we can use this, and we have to write optional over it. That's it. What we do, we wrote a value hash. Okay, and this is the internal table, and this is other key. Column 1 is been matched with value this, column 2 is matched with value this, and optional means even if the value is not returned, okay, don't give a dump, means it would proceed on. Okay, even if it is not found, it would return you empty. See, it is giving us an empty basically. But you can use the same statement over here too. Like I have made the personal now 3. Okay, now let's see what happens. See, it is giving me the data. Okay, so but if you are not using an optional over here, and if your key value is not matched, it would result you a dump if you have not handled the exception. Okay, now quickly moving on to the next topic, third case. And the third case was check if the line exists, right? So how to check if there a specific line exists or not? Earlier we used to do something like this. Before 7.4, read table, internal table with data this, okay, with key this, and transporting we used to write. Transporting no fields we used to write. Okay, so this ensures that if there is any data or not, if there is any kind data present or not. Okay, let us check and activate this. See, it doesn't returns me any data. Why? Because you know it transporting no fields. It does not give you any value even if the key is matched. Because here we are only concerned that with the matching keys if there is any line exist here or not. Else, let me write a breakpoint over here. Okay, let me activate. See, the record is matched. Okay, size of verse is 0. Okay, and that's why this lines of code is executed. It does not go to the else part since the record is matched. Let me show you the else part as well. I'm making it 4. Okay, and with the key positive equal to 4 there is no data. See, it will go to the else portion. Okay, see, there is data over there. Okay, positive. Oh, sorry, there is data over there. Positive equal to 4. I have to change it. I have to make it something 6, suppose. Okay, see, size of verse is 4, and currently this else portion is been executed. The control does not go to this line. Okay, this is how I explain the concept of like transporting no fields. But this is before 7.4. But what about 7.4 syntax? Let's try that as well. And trust me, it is very much simple than using this. So here we use something like if line exists. If line exists, and put a bracket and put the internal table name over there. In our case, it is ITVPAP and the relevant columns, key values, key pair values. That's it. Okay. If line exists, ITVPAP, we are passing the Veblen and its value, Posner and its value, and the endif operation. Let me move it to the top. So I'm putting a breakpoint over here. Guys, this is a hard-coded breakpoint. We should not use it. I'm using it just for testing purpose and for showing you. Otherwise, you should not use it for your company and organization. Okay. So if the line exists, if an internal table with this matching key, a record is found, then this will trigger this when line number 27 will get triggered. If the line does not exist, then the relevant line number 29 will get hit. Okay. Earlier we were using this kind of a approach, read table and all. Every time we have to write like read table syntax. Okay, transporting no fields we have to write, but in case of 7.4 syntax we simply write line exist, that's it, and pass the internal table name and the relevant key pair of the column and its value. Simple. Let us execute it and see what it happens. See, the line exists and it directly hits the breakpoint of line number 27. Let me change the positive value to something else, or let me use a dynamic one. Okay, let's pause now and see. See, currently as positive value is 003. I am making it 007. It does not exist, right? And ITVBAP, let me show you the internal table as well. This internal table consists of two records, Veblen and Posner. Posner value 003 and 004. Okay, I have made the Posner as 007, which will get compared, and let me take this to line number shift F12. Let me jump to this line and press F5. It would automatically hit line number 29. See, okay, this is the magic. Since a line does not exist, it automatically goes to the else portion. Okay, and make sure that there is no Sicebercy written over here. Sicebercy will be become 0 only. Let me press F8. Coming to the next topic that we have covered, which is how to get the table index. Basically, it is similar to our previous example only. Okay, so we'll use this only again. And suppose we have to declare a data over here. Data I underscore dex type sci tabx. If psi tabx. Okay, I'm making the positive value as 004. So you will see. So how it works actually, it will check whether if there is a matching entry with this Veblen and Posner in into this internal table. If it is found, it would return me the index. At what index that record is present. Simply, okay, it would return me the index. It would not return me the fields or the field values. Okay, this is with before 7.4 syntax. Let me show you in debugger mode only. Acha, okay, let me put the debugger over here and execute. See, Cytabix value is 2, you can see it, and we are capturing the value in IDX because Posner 004 is present in the second record. This is the second record. That's why. Okay, but this is not my main motto. My main motto is to let you know the 7.4 syntax. How can we do that? Let me uncomment this. In case of like line exist, we will be using line index, INDEX. That's it. And you don't have to write all these things. Okay, you can simply write data l underscore get underscore index. What is the index? Give me the line index and put an equal to. It would provide you the index in a single statement only. Line index, internal table name, and the respective key value. Okay, it will provide you the key value. Let me print that key value over here. It would return you 1 because as Posner it is in 1. See, Now let me make it to 4. This is second record. So it would return, it would the L underscore get underscore index will return 2 over here. See, 2 is getting returned. Okay. So we have completed all the 4 cases, guys. Okay. So I hope you like the video. Thank you. Thank you, guys.